Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Oshi7, but you guys already all knew that. This is actually a TDM on Caspian Border with my friend Mrs. Pinkster, I've known for a while now. We used to play Modern Warfare 2 together. And I don't usually play TDM, but this is actually okay. I think when it comes down to gun skill, and nothing but gun skill, I do pretty well. I guess that's all those years of COD 4 and stuff like that, but TDM is ridiculously easy, and it can be fun, and it's a nice break every now and then from the mayhem that is Conquest and Rush and all that fun stuff. But this video is actually mainly to do with what I would have done with hindsight with Battlefield 3 if I was in charge of developing it. If I was the lead director of Battlefield 3, and I know what I know now, this is how I would have done things. I've been thinking about this a lot, because the one thing that I get frustrated about, I mean, there's a lot of things I get frustrated about, but a lot of that is actually being addressed in the patch that's upcoming. All the issues with, to do with vehicles and all those sorts of things. Hopefully now, after this patch, the game's going to be a little bit more balanced. AA is going to be good, Stinger's going to be useful, helicopters won't get completely dominated just by, 2 infantry looking in the same direction, and basically I think it's going to be a good patch, and I'm optimistic. I'm really, really optimistic, and they've added a few, like all the weapon balances I agree with. The 2 guns I use the most, the QBZ-95B and the A91, both are engineer guns, both are carbines. They're not getting touched really in any real sort of way, so I'm pretty happy. The guns I like aren't getting nerfed. I've sorted out the mouse sensitivity issues I was having. It turns out I was playing on a really low DPI but really high in-game and Windows sensitivity, so it wasn't really. I was having real trouble making my aim really precise, and then I figured out that the mouse doesn't come with the max sensitivity set. So what I did, I went into the manager, I went from 1900 DPI to 5700 DPI, lowered the in-game and Windows sensitivities, and now last night I only played 5 games. I know there was something about a blackout going on with Battlefield. I didn't think it was going to be last night, but last night I could not find a server, and we actually ended up playing an American server with like 140 ping, and it felt absolutely fine. So I really think that the way DICE have made the game and made the netcode, they made it with the idea that the game is going to lag. So if you're having a lot of trouble, well, like getting shot around, I mean, some weird stuff does happen, but try playing on a server with high ping. It will probably surprise you. It's an interesting experience, because you don't really notice it, and the game seems to flow a little better, kind of. But yeah, what I would do with Battlefield 3, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think the core problem with Battlefield 3, in regards to team play and people PTFOing and not enough given to people who do play the game objectively, is the fact that there are 4 classes, and each class, well, apart from Recon, each class is really, really good. I mean, you can basically run around as an individual and be absolutely fine and get a high score. Good score per minute, good KD ratio, good number of kills, but there's so many people who have like 1.1 win losses and stuff like that, despite they have awesome like individual stats, which means they're playing selfishly. And whilst there's always going to be those sort of players, I really wish that this game would cater more and reward more players who play objectively. Now that I thought about it more and more, and I looked at the Battlefield 2 classes, because this is Battlefield 3, it's not Bad Company 3, and I never really played Bad Company 2 that much. But in Battlefield 2 there are 7 classes. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but it ranged quite a lot. You had the anti-tank, which had the rockets, and they were allowed to use shotguns and a submachine gun, the P90, I think. I can't remember quite rightly right now. And they had a few other classes, like medic and assault were different. It was good. I liked it. So I'm sort of basing what I would do and how to improve Battlefield 3. Well, not how to improve it, but how I would have made it myself. Mrs. P keeps on dying here. I just keep on reviving her. So the first class I thought of 6 classes, and I'm going to go through each of them individually. The first one is a leader class. Now the names don't really matter; they can be renamed later on to, I don't know, Spec Ops or whatever class you want to call this. But basically, the leader gets all the assault rifles, so the AEK, the F2000, all those guns that we all know and love. That's the guns they get. They also get the M320, which is the grenade launcher, the noob tube. And then they get all the variants as well. But they also get the marker darts. I know in Battlefield 2 marker darts were a thing, but what I thought this would do the exact same thing for what the SOFLAM does right now. But apart from the fact that you actually have to aim and mark a vehicle. So rather than having to laser designate it, it would be already laser designated by the infantry player. So when you play Assault, a lot of the time if you see a tank, you just gotta hide basically and hope they don't have motion sensor or run away. Now you can switch to your marker dart by pressing 3 or whatever the console button is, and mark it. And that will actually do the same as laser designating it, as I said. And then someone with a javelin or guided shell or anything like that will be able to help you out and take it down. As a leader, you choose which where you're going, what you're gonna do. But I thought of a even better idea. When you queue, when you spot an objective or a tank or anything like that, it'll just spot it normally. But if you're a squad leader, if you double tap spot, it will actually designate that as the active objective for that squad. So if there's a tank and you press QQ, or I'm not sure what the spot button is, select on the consoles, it will highlight that tank. It will make it blatantly obvious without even needing to try that tank is what you're supposed to be doing. And any teammates in the radius, so like if you have your squad of in my Battlefield 3 squads would be 6 players. In that squad, if you're around your squad mates and helping them, you're gonna get loads of points. So if you destroy a tank, I can't remember how many points you get for destroying a tank, but if you follow your leaders, command and help destroy that tank, or you're around your teammates, say you're a medic and you're just reviving people as they're trying to take out the tank, you're going to get like twice or maybe even 3 times the amount of points. It's a lot of points, but then you're following your objective. You're playing the way the game was sort of intended to be played, like the sort of spiritual way the game was supposed to be played. So you get a hell of a lot of points for following commands, like a ridiculous amount. And I think that's absolutely fine. And also, the biggest thing about squad leader, about having, running the leader class, is that they get more points for marking objectives and having the orders followed. Because right now, I think if you get an order followed, you get like minuscule amount of points. If you double queue a tank or double queue an objective, and your team follow that, you should get like 500 points, just for marking it, just for doing that. But also, a squad leader is required in your squad to have access to the squad perks. So if you run ammo or flak or frags or explosives, if you don't have a squad leader in your squad, so if you're just like 6 recon players or 6 support players, then you're not going to get access to the squad perk. So each of you could have a different perk, but you'd only get that individually without a squad leader. Once a squad leader joins, everyone gets that. So if I run flak jacket, for instance, everyone gets that if a squad leader is, but only I get it if there's no squad leader. So that's how that works. Next is the medic. The medics get the PDW and shotguns. Or they could get the assault rifles as well. I was debating this quite a lot. That wouldn't really bother me if 2 classes got access to the same kinds of guns. It doesn't really make a big difference. But PDWs and shotguns and as a specific thing to medics rather than being universal, and maybe assault rifles instead. So make PDWs and shotguns universal maybe. They get med packs and defibs, but you get a hell of a lot more points for healing. So in my ideal world, you'd get 2 points for every 1% you heal someone. So if you heal someone from 50%, you get 100 points. When you revive someone, that is 200 points, so worth 2 kills rather than just worth 1 kill. And also, when someone's revived, they only get revived to 50% health. So when they accept the revive, rather than just being 100% and running straight back out into the action to get shot down again, you only get 50%. So that kind of makes the game a bit more tactful. You have to, if you're getting, if you're getting revived, you have to take cover, pray that your that your medic is smart enough to drop a med pack for you as well. And yeah, I think that just makes it a bit more tactful. It sort of allows for a bit more regrouping of your squad. So rather than just like medics just running around healing each other like crazy and just running towards objectives, it makes it a bit. You have to push forward a bit more slowly, and I like that. For support, you get the light machine guns, obviously, and mines, I guess. I couldn't really think of a lot to do with support, but I'm sure there are things you guys can think of. Obviously, if you have any ideas of your own, leave them in the comments. But they also get the infantry ammo packs and the vehicle ammo packs, and I'll explain those in a bit. The recon get the sniper rifles, they get C4, they get the MAV and tugs. Now, if a recon marks someone, in my opinion, not only should that mark in 3D last for 3 times as long, they should also, when someone's marked, it should also appear in the radar, in the minimap, as if they're shooting their gun. I think that's what the like a motion sensor almost. So like if a medic or a support guy marks someone, then it's just like it is now in Battlefield, like just 3D spotting. But if a recon marks someone, that 3D mark lasts, I don't know, twice as long, but also it appears in the minimap because they're recon, right? If they mark someone, they're going to report it back. I got one. The next class I have is the anti-tank class. Now these guys get the PDW and shotguns. They could also get the carbines. The same deal with the medic. I wasn't really sure how to balance them. So I was thinking that the anti-tank and medics would get the PDW and shotguns exclusively, but I suppose the anti-tank guys can still keep the carbines. I mean, that makes sense. But my point was to make the roles more specific, because right now the engineer class, you can run engineer on every single map, even infantry only, and still do fine. And I don't know, something that doesn't set right with me in my brain. It feels like that if you're an anti-tank, then you're a specialist in explosives and things, and you shouldn't be able to run around and play infantry as well as someone who is using an assault rifle. Yeah. But they get the RPGs, Stingers, and Javelins, and of course the Stingers. They don't like the upcoming patch. They're not going to lose their lock if someone flares. So if you've got 2 engineers standing next to each other with Stingers, one fires theirs, the helicopter or jet flares, and the other one fires his straight after because the lock isn't lost. Because they're aiming. And the last class, the class that I quite liked the idea of, which in my own mind it makes a lot of sense, is a class called Operator. This could be anything. It could be named anything. I just named it Operator because, well, I had to think of a name for it. They get the carbines, so I guess anti-tank and operators both get the carbine guns. They get the repair tool, and they are the only class that can use vehicle perks. So if you're a tank driver, if you're a helicopter or a pilot, you get all the perks that you choose. You get air radar, motion sensor, thermal optics, all of that stuff. If you're a recon, a medic, or a support, or a leader, or anything like that, and you jump in a tank, you get a basic tank. You don't get any perks, and you don't get any sort of benefits from being in that tank. Because right now, you can have like a recon flying a jet and owning everyone. So right now, I want to make like a vehicle, like a pilot class almost, but for every vehicle, not just for helicopters and jets. Yeah, I see. And I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you have to be a specialist, and you have to give up something to. If you want to be like a tank whore or a jet whore or a helicopter whore, you have to give up something, and I think you should have to give up basically. Your infantry play. So probably actually anti-tank could get the carbines, and the operator would get the PDW and shotguns like a medic would. So the medics, I mean, it is fair for medics to have PDW and shotguns because they're going to get a hell of a lot of points from revives and stuff like that. They're not really medics aren't supposed to be on the front lines. They're supposed to be backing up their team, much like a I don't know. In MMOs where you got the healer who's at the back just healing everyone and buffing them, you've got the medic who's sort of like in the throw. They can get involved with shotguns and PDW. PDWs are good. P90 is good. The PP12 is good. Shotguns in infantry maps are awesome. and then they get a hell of a lot of points from revives and heals. So, you know, it's a good thing. And oh yes, I didn't drop on that point. Support get the infantry ammo packs and also vehicle ammo packs. In my little world, vehicles don't have infinite ammo. Helicopters only get so many rounds in the main gunner. Jets only get so many bullets to fire. Tanks only get so many shells. If you want to resupply them, you either have to go back to your base. So if you're a jet or a helicopter, you have to go back to your base normally, or you know, land and drop off a vehicle ammo pack if you are a support player. Also, you for a tank, if you are support, you have to run up to the tank and actually drop off an ammo pack, or it could be anything. I don't know. They could do a different animation for it. But yeah, I mean, if you're a tank, you get, I don't know, 30 tank rounds, which is a lot. Obviously that could change. I don't know. I'm not being specific here. I'm just like shooting the breeze. But yeah, I mean, if you run out of ammo, then as a tank driver, then you need someone to support. So there's 3 seats in a tank. You've got the operator driving. You've got, I don't know, an anti-tank guy gunning, and you've got a support guy in the CITV station. And when you run out of ammo, he just gets out, throws some more down, and it slowly resupplies, and then you're back in action. And I think that would really balance the vehicle play in this game. It would make it a bit more tactful, and it'd just be better, really. And yeah, basically. I think if you're in a tank, like, tank should be, or any vehicle really, should be a unit. I mean, if you have 2 people in an attack helicopter, 3 people in a tank or whatever, say if you get a kill, that means that every single point that is earned by everyone in that tank is distributed evenly for everyone. So if you're in a CITV station, and your operator gets the tank kill, then that's absolutely fine. I mean, then each player gets 33 points. So all the points are distributed evenly for everyone in that tank. And same with helicopters. If you're the pilot and the gunner gets a kill, you both get 50 points. And I think that's absolutely fine. It makes a lot of sense in my brain, in my thinking thing, imaging. And yeah, that's basically how I would do Battlefield. Just reward people a hell of a lot for playing the objective. If you join a squad and you're just using them as mobile spawn points, and you run off, and you're I don't know, 100 or maybe if you're 50 meters away from a squad mate, and they follow their leader's objective to destroy a tank, and if you're not close by it, you don't get any of those points. You've actually got to be around your squad to earn those points. And I really wish they would have done something more like this. It would make the game a little bit more varied. I mean, you might get like anti-vehicle squads where they got 1 leader and like 4 anti-tank people and a medic, you know. It would just make the game. It just makes sense to me. And with Battlefield 3, they streamlined it really well. I think they might have streamlined it too much. I mean, there's no major downfall to not being a medic over an engineer or something. Yeah. Also, in softcore, vehicles should not auto repair unless you run the maintenance perk and you're an operator. So if you get hit by a tank shell and you run away, you need an operator to repair it. So, or if you're an operator, you need to run the maintenance perk to actually get the auto repair. That makes a big difference. That makes the maintenance perk actually worthwhile, because I do not know anyone who uses it. It doesn't really give you that much of a benefit. So yeah, if you're in a helicopter then or a jet, then you want the maintenance one over whatever perk that could be there, like guided rockets or air radar or something. So it does make a huge difference. It makes a lot of sense. Anyway, that's the end of the game. That was TDM. Me, Hem, and Mrs. P completely dominated the other team. It was actually kind of close, but in the end we pulled away and we did pretty well. So right now I'm pretty happy. The patch seems pretty good, especially for me. None of my guns are getting nerfed, so I quite like that. And I'm really excited, and I think Battlefield 3 is doing well, but I just, I really wish they would have done this rather than what they did, but, hindsight is always 20/20. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, you can come around my house and give me a blowy.